The Ultimate Warrior forever, baby. Oh yeah.
Hello humans and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. That's right, the video game show that is not hosted by an annoying e-beggar. There is no Patreon, no super chats. That's right, we just talk about the games we love and how fun it is to hoard them. Collect them. Now, with that said, let's get ready for the show. On today's episode, this show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello humans and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. This video is for N-tellivison 0. They asked me to make a video, just to give my thoughts and ideas on their project. That was way back when. And now, there's been some developments, but I wanted to run with the idea that they had, okay? Even though it's just an idea and it's not developed, he wanted some feedback on what he plans to do. Number one, he wants to save a certain video game company that shall remain nameless, and he wanted to make his own console. He had the idea of making console with modules, and just because he said a couple of things on the Geek Getaway, I think, podcast that he was doing, there's a couple of things that you said that are going to make this console not successful. Let's just say that. Number one is you can't be everything to everybody. That's unrealistic, number one. Number two, the company that you're trying to save, that's actually crowdfunding right now, you're not going to be able to save. The only one that can save that company is that company themselves, right? And that company is suffering from things that you can't correct anymore. That company is suffering from what I call the DSP effect.
Alright guys, let's be nice and respectful, but let me explain the DSP effect over here. And it's when another creator, usually I've never seen it applied to a toy, to a console, but here it is. When you have a bad online reputation, whether it's warranted or not makes no difference. I'm not making any judgment calls here on any person, okay? This is just what's happened in the past, and I guess what still happens to the man now, even though he still is on YouTube. For whatever you want to say about the guy, he's been around for a very long time and he's still raising funds, right? So, bad online reputation, right? The subject is also suffering from a couple other things, which is there are a high number of dedicated channels that produce content on that reputation, which is, the bad online reputation. Next, we have YouTubers that refuse to make positive content about them, right? Some don't want to make content anymore, all right? And they're also in a state of constant fundraising. That is what I'm calling the DSP effect. Again, no disrespect to anybody. I'm just describing what this is and what the state of the company that you're trying to save is. Okay, and I'm being very careful with my words here because I know a lot of people are watching that really want to censor a lot of the information that I'm trying to give here on different subjects.
Sponsors don't want to work with you, so you have to take them off your web pages, right? Because your PR is so bad. When content creators don't want to make videos on you anymore because since you haven't been doing what you said you were going to do, they're getting harassed and hate instead of the people making the decisions at the company, right? The ones that are making the videos, being apologetic and trying to stay optimistic for the console are these creators, and finally they had enough. One of them that made a video on why he wasn't making any more content said this, and it was very telling. He said, I want to make content, and I'm paraphrasing here, I want to make content that makes me happy. That tells you everything you need to know. Video games are supposed to make you happy, but when you've botched a launch to this extent, even those of us who are optimistic, who are looking forward to retro reimagined games, that, you know, hold a lot of memories for us, right? When that doesn't become fun anymore. Not because of detractors. I think most people can take criticism, and even if they're made fun of, they don't care as long as they enjoy a product. They'll keep on playing it. They don't care, you know, what people say about it. But what they can't do is support something that doesn't deliver over and over and over again, right? The company that you're trying to save has a bad reputation that precedes it. The DSP effect, you know, I've seen on other content creators. I've actually seen it on people. I have never seen it on a toy, on a video game console. That's how bad this is, right? And even though N-tellivison Zero doesn't have the money, there's no amount of money that's going to be able to repair this. The company that you're trying to save needs to be more transparent, because now the numbers don't add up, right? You're talking about, you know, over $11 million raised earlier this year. It's been a you know, couple of campaigns according to Republic. Let's put it up here. $11 million. You know, there were claims on the videos that they were going to be used for promotion. Since nothing happened, that money should still be in the bank, right? And we're still raising more because, you know, you don't know why. So even if you do buy this company, you're going to have to do what this company hasn't done, which is open the books. Open the books and see where the money is going and where the salary, you know, what salaries are being paid and all this stuff. Do you really want those kind of problems? Do you really want the reputation of that company built into your new company? You don't. It's a bad business proposition. You can buy a failing business, right? You can buy a failing business that has a good reputation, like you could buy Sears, for example, right? Or, you know, name business that is failing, right? Blockbuster you could buy. Blockbuster failed because, you know, technology changed, but they didn't have a bad reputation. You're talking about a business that is not producing and has a bad reputation. If you would have told me when this particular business that you're trying to save for whatever reason, if you would have told me that it would have the same amount of trolling as DSP, I would have said you're nuts. But in fact, that's the case. And not only that, they're full of bad ideas. And let me give you an example. Let's say you wanted to buy this company, but you're going to buy it next year sometime when you think things aren't going so well. They're planning to do, I think, a tour of some sort. One of the stops is in Los Angeles. Let me tell you this. I was a Lyft driver in Los Angeles for years. That's how I worked my way through college. And it is, without a doubt, one of the capitals of trolls in the United States. You know, I don't know what other city would be second, but you have a lot of influencers out there that really chase clicks. So if you have an event there, right, people that haven't even heard of Retro Reimagined or, you know, Dungeons and Dragons and old properties, things like that, would show up just to get clicks and to troll and to get views. This is a really bad idea. It's a terrible idea, because the only other thing you could do is control the event, and then the PR is going to be even worse. So it's a no-win situation, right? If you were buying a company that did things normally, for example, if you were buying a company that put a kiosk in very large cities like they used to do in the past, you know, what we call the normal way, the good way of doing things, right? And they would set up a kiosk and you could go play it there, and creators would make their own videos without being supervised or being told what to play, or without, you know, employees around them, and they make content naturally, right? It's organic. Then you start getting a buzz, word of mouth, you know, and you get natural reactions to games, but they need to be complete. The console needs to be complete.
So you see, regardless of what your plan is, there really is nothing you can do to make this project viable, right? And I'm just speaking in generalities because I don't know how serious you were about this whole thing, but in general, it's not a good investment. You know, physical media as we knew it is gone. There's no reason to make any more consoles. There's so many things that can play thousands of games right now that would satisfy so many retro gamers that this really is the last kick that people are going to be able to make. When games go to the cloud, all this is going to be irrelevant. You're going to be able to play your favorite games on the go on anything, and all you're really going to need is a controller. You know, if you're looking to invest your money to make more money, put it in one of the larger companies. It's not financial advice. Do your due diligence, but you know, there's crypto out there, there's other things. This right here is a company that you don't know where the money's going. That's a huge problem. Are you buying debt? You know, what are you buying? If you ever do invest in the company, as you say that you see it maybe tanking and you want to buy it before it tanks, you know, just the way these things work, right? And let me tell you something here. When people crowdfund, they do it for a reason. They don't expose themselves to venture capitalists because the venture capitalist is going to want to see the books, and he's also going to ask for personal guarantees. When companies do this type of crowdfunding, one of the reasons it's a red flag, okay, is because many of the amounts, if you look at the amounts invested now, they average about $1,250. Nobody is going to go to court for over $1,250, right? Everybody's well aware of that. Everybody's putting in money that they're willing to lose, right? Or at least they should, because if they think they're going to get their money back if this thing goes south, you know, they're out of their minds, right? And for any poor bloke out there that invested in a company thinking they're going to get 10x returns, when, you know, traditional investors like me that have been at the market for years have a hard time beating the S&P 500 on a yearly basis. You know, it's just something else that you need to overcome. You know, I think that your efforts would be better in creating the retro reimagined that people crave, and try to find different ways of delivering it. This here, you know, as much as I got inspired by the retro reimagined, but specifically what I've been experiencing here the last couple of weeks, I can tell you it's not the way to go. Creating games to this company is secondary. Their first goal is to raise money, and a lot of it. And that should raise all kinds of red flags for you and make you step away from any notion you have about investing in trying to save a company that doesn't want to save itself. All right, thank you, humans. Thank you for joining me once again. The tone of the videos is going to change a little bit because I know what people want to silence me want to do, and that is by me dropping names, by me saying this or that or the other, being quite specific. They want to eventually carry that to bullying, whether it's me or, you know, another channel, right? They want to carry that into harassment. So I'm not going to fall into that trap. And that's the reason why they're counting videos, not for any other reasons. Okay, so stay alert out there. You can be critical and be respectful at the same time. And I think that's the way to go. We are not going to let them hide. You know, they need to make videos to apologize for their failures. And more, you know, I'm going to be here reminding them of that until I get my wood grain. All right, humans, take care. Have a great night. New videos every Monday and Sunday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click that notification bell, and remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.